lesson number 32. So today I'm going to be talking to you guys about two different things. One is being able to look at the sheet music and play notes, and still play notes while you're looking at the sheet music. So basically playing without looking at your hand. And then the other one is how to move your hand to do certain leaps and like sync into keys and stuff like that. I sort of touched on it a little bit on the Fury Release video, but it was sort of like a mini point, and then I'm like, I should probably talk about that. So the one who gave me the idea about using the sheet music and looking at it, and like how to play while looking at the sheet music and not looking down, that was Maggie. She was on my forum there. So there you go, Maggie. Didn't forget about you. Okay, so let's get right into it. Alright, so I'm sitting down here. Now, the piece I'm going to use to do the right hand, like to show you that, to show how you can play while you're looking at it. Sorry, I'm not really talking right now. But basically, so what we're going to do is, I suggest if you can't play without looking at your hands, and you've always got to keep looking down and checking like this, back and forth and back and forth. Are you dizzy? If you can't do that, like if you can't just stare at the music and play, and then, well, if you can't stare at the music and play at the same time, then I suggest you do this with one hand, which is what I'm going to show to start off with. Once you've mastered one hand, then you can add a second hand, but don't try two hands until you can do it with one, because playing two hands without looking is harder than playing with one. Just like two heads are better than one. Anyway. Okay, so what you're going to notice here, so this song is called Song of Twilight. It's actually a very nice song, and I'm using it because it's got a pretty simple right hand going along here. So, okay, so first up we've got these fingers here. So when you want to play without looking, what you've got to do is you've got to take notice of where the general layout of the notes is, because you're going to have to feel around sort of where they are. Now, as you see here, it says 2, 3, 5, so that all the notes lie under my hand perfectly. That's partly why I'm using this piece. So if I look down, all my notes, 2, 3, 5, they're all right here. So I can't be basically showing you how I'm feeling like while I'm playing this. I can't, distribute the feeling of my fingers across the keys. So you're just going to have to imagine that you can feel the keys, or maybe you can go along with it yourself. So what I'm going to do is, right now while I'm doing this, I have my fingers on the keys. So I'm thinking, okay, there's 2, 3, 5, and then it goes back to 3 and then on 2 again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just play 2, 3, 5, 3, 2 without looking. And then I'm going to keep going over. Uh-oh, now we've got this. So this is a C. So without looking, I'm going to move my thumb like this. I'm going to feel for the black keys and then find that C sharp. Like that. But I want to do that without looking. So I just had to show you, because obviously you can't tell what I'm doing with my fingers. So I'm feeling around. Something you can do actually is you can close your eyes and feel 3 black keys, 2 black keys, 3 black keys, 2 black keys. You can put your third finger in between, like that, and then you'll know exactly where you are. If you feel the 3 like this, then just move your third finger to the left, and then you can depress those ones, and this one's F, G, and that's B flat. You can do all of this without looking. C, D, E. Now if you push this over, you can do this too. Okay, so that's sort of how I do it. I use the black keys. I feel with my fingers where they are. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm right here. That way I don't have to look sometimes. So it's about feeling, sort of like if you're a blind person, so that you can use your sight to get the information that you need to feed down to your hands. So part of this is reading by intervals. So here, this is a step up. It's just, a second. and then this is skipping from a line. It's skipping over the space here to the line up here. So it's whenever it's going from a space to a line or a line to a space, either one, that's called a step. And if you go from a line to another line or a space to another space, that's called a skip. So basically, it's just an easy way of saying this is a step, this is a skip. Sort of like you're skipping across this one. You're skipping the stair. If you're like climbing upstairs, it's skipping across the stair. Woo! Like that kind of. Okay, so you want to be reading for steps, skips, and stuff like that, and any large intervals. Then you want to be reading ahead, sort of. So if you take this finger and this finger, before you start playing, you should figure out what this, all the way up to this pinky. You should already have that done, and then this is where you start. So then as you start, you're playing, and then this one is where you're looking and figuring out what you're going to play. So then this would be as you're coming down. So I'm looking ahead all the time. Just like if you're driving a car, you're always looking into the distance. Like that. Ta-da, like that. Okay, so I know, it's not like I'm actually teaching you that much, I'm just showing you what you need to do, because this thing is not really that teachable. But basically, you just need to practice looking at the music and then feeling. I think I might actually post a performance of this piece after, because it's actually kind of nice. I'm in the sort of Song of Twilight mood. Maybe I'll learn this piece. And then okay, now here, that's a pretty big jump. So what I'm doing is I'm like, okay, well that's an A and that's an F sharp. So I need to be feeling for a white key and then feeling up to a black key, the very first one of the group of three. So what I'm doing is I'm like, okay, I have my A here, and then I'm like, okay, there's two, so this must be F sharp here. So I'm like, and then here it says go to the, losing my voice here, to the E natural, and then the G sharp. So if I know this is A, then this has to be G sharp. So all I do is I just move my finger up without looking, and then I know that if these two black keys are here, then this has to be E. So without looking, I'm already getting the information I need. So that's basically how I get that. Now as I go back here, this is the E again, so I should move my fourth finger, because my fourth finger is on E, and before they wanted it with 2, so then I just move my 2 back to where my 4 already is. So kind of like this. And then I just lift my finger up, and I know, okay, in this space that's E, so I just go like this. And I don't even need to look, I just keep going. And then I come over here. And this part. Now, this is a B, so the B is going to be right beside the black keys. So as I finish here, I'm just going to sink my hand down and push it over until it stops, and I'm like, okay, this has to be B. Now that has to be a C sharp, so I'm thinking, okay, the first black key over, and then the first black key after that group. And then I can feel here, this is where it drops off, so this has to be E. So it's using your fingers as your eyes while you're doing this. And you might be thinking, well, I can't think that fast, but basically, it's just a skill that you acquire. Just like when you first start playing piano, you suck at it, and eventually you get better. And when you first learned how to walk, how wobbly were you? And I bet now you can run, can't you? And if you're in a wheelchair, I'm sorry. I mean, like, there's things that, basically we have skills and we get better as we go. Alright? And here, so how do I figure that out? So I've got a C sharp, then I have F sharp, and then a G, and then an A. So as I'm doing this, I'm thinking, okay, so C sharp is going to be the first of the 2 black keys, and then I'm just thinking, okay, F sharp, and then the one right beside it. So I'm like, okay, that's F sharp, that's G sharp. Now instead of going right there, then I have to slip it in between. So it goes, so I'm hugging up right to that black key. And then I know it's just the same fingers that I've been using. Let's see, this is all the same. Now, this part presents a leap. So, I might look down, or what I would do, probably, is I'd go like this, and I'd feel across, and then put my pinky down, and then when I feel that, then I'd go like that. So when I feel that bump, then I'm like, so I feel that like right there. So I'm like, okay, that's it, right there. Alright, hopefully this is making sense. This is at the end of my teaching week, so I've already taught, I don't know how many students. I know I've got like 37 students in real life now. So, yeah, I've been teaching quite a bit. I really love it. I'm so happy that I'm teaching in real life. So, it's such a, it doesn't even feel like work, and I know how lucky I am to have that feeling. But I don't want to forget you guys. Even if you guys don't make me any money. It's all good. It really is. If you guys can learn to enjoy music, I'm happy. So that part's the D. So as we go up here, so it's C sharp, F sharp, G sharp. So that's all the same, and then it goes all the way up to the D. So how are we going to find it? Well, I'm going to go right between the two black keys. Just like that. And then I know I just go back to the C sharp, then hop over to the other one. Good, just like that. So that's pretty much playing without looking. Once you do that, then you do the same type of thing with the left hand, but the thing is you have to be thinking both at the same time. So you're figuring out those little things simultaneously with each finger. So your mind has to be going a lot faster. So that's why I say you have to practice it, because if you haven't already practiced it with the right hand, then the left hand won't. Doing it hands together is just going to overload you, and you'll get frustrated. So first try a piece something like this. This is a Song of Twilight. It's in the grade 3 celebration series of the Royal Conservatory of Music or whatever. So yeah. Okay, now another thing. So this is a Nocturne in E flat major by Chopin. So, okay, where is that spot? Okay, here. So we've got some leaping chords that are going da dun dun. Well, this whole piece is basically leaping chords. So what you need to do, this is all about getting jumps. So when you've got to do a jump, oh man, this is very disorienting. Maybe I'll put it on the tripod. But when you're going like this, or whatever it is. So what you want to do is you want to use the momentum of your arm and then land right into the key. Wow, trying to be a cameraman and a pianist at the same time and a teacher is very hard. Okay, so basically as I go, I'm letting my arm do one smooth motion right into the keys, and I overshot myself because I was talking. Anyway. So a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll go like this and hover over the general area where they need to go, so they'll be like this, and then they'll figure out later, and then like that. And that's something you want to avoid. You want to do smooth motions into it. Because if you have to stop, that's one motion. Now you go there, that's another motion, and then down, that's another motion. So that's like 3 or 4 motions, when you could just do it in one. Watch this. So one motion right into the key, and then another, using the same momentum of my arm. So how do you practice this? Well, what you got to do is, one, as you hit this key, before you lift off, you need to think, okay, well, I'm going to hit over there. So then you project you kind of envision how you would have to land into the keys. And then you have to just let your arm drop into it. It's sort of like what I'm taking is I'm making my arm like jelly, and then I'm just throwing my arm with enough force to get it in that area. And it just feels like it keeps going. So it's very relaxing, it feels very fluid and very easy, and it almost takes no energy to do it. So, and you can get really, really, really accurate, and you can go really fast, and it's just crazy. It doesn't look like I'm that great at it on camera right here. I'm not that good at it. I'm sure like the concert pianists are better. But I know the general idea as taught by someone who knew what they were talking about. Okay, yeah, so what you want to do is you want to look at that area first. So first project yourself, okay, I need to get to these keys. So set your target area. Then the next thing you want to do is you want to go back and forth between these two spots, over and over and over and over. Back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth. And go slowly and try doing it over and over. And then what'll even help after that, try to like go over the same amount of airspace. And then, when all is said and done and you get better at that, try closing your eyes. So, oh yeah, this is me closing my eyes. Or, there, I'm closing my eyes now. All I really did was put the camera into my lap, which didn't really close my eyes. Okay, so we've got the whole motion going on here, but you close your eyes so that you can measure the distance and how it feels for your hand. Because your body can get an estimate of how much it has to move that muscle in a certain direction and it can lock that muscle memory in there, and then you know how exactly far you have to go. Just like I know this is an octave. So eventually you get muscle memory for how you just have to move your hand by doing this. It's just like learning the notes in a piece. If you do this, you're learning arm muscle memory. And playing the piano isn't just about using your fingers or your hands or just your wrists. It should be all the way up to your shoulder. You should think of your shoulder as one long finger, wiggly finger, with little stubbly things coming out at the end. Whee! Okay, yeah, I'm just getting crazy now. It's actually almost 1 o'clock in the morning right now. And I've done a whole full day of teaching, and another one yesterday, and the one before that. Life is good. Anyway, okay, so, basically you go back and forth, and then once you've gotten past the whole close your eyes stage, then open them again, and then try looking somewhere else. So you'd be like looking out the window or something. And then focus on how you're doing it. Actually doing your arpeggios, like these things, those should be done, actually, the best way to do them when you're doing them quickly is actually with your eyes closed. Because if you go too fast, your head gets blurred by going up and down the key so quickly. So it's actually best, I do them without looking. I look off. And that's how I practice my arpeggios. I try to get like, of course, if I can't do them, if you can't do them yet, you have to stare at them. I wasn't actually planning on doing this, but you figure the distance between the keys over and over and over, and then eventually you slowly look away, and then slowly look away, and correct it. You're going to miss notes, but just use your ear to find that you're hitting the right note. And then eventually you'll just you'll do it one day, and then bam, you'll be able to do it without looking. And it's like, in your head, you'll see the notes, and you'll see where like the distance. It's really hard to explain, but when I do it, I see like a white key floating in blackness to another white key to another white key, and it's like I know exactly where they're going, and I'm not even looking at it. That's just where they're falling. I don't know, it's really hard to explain. But yeah. Okay, so that's sort of the whole idea here. It's like your arm knows the movements, and then you're just going to use sweeping arm motions to just drop your hand into it. It's all about letting your arm feel free and just moving through from key to key. But yeah. Okay. So hopefully that works. I think I'm going to also do a tutorial, or not even a tutorial. I might just perform Song of Twilight, just for the fun of it, because it's actually a nice piece. I think I'll just put the top up and like have a nice little like pro setting. Yeah, so look for that video too. Anyway, as you noticed, I got my second pair of new glasses because I actually got 2 for 1. So these ones are like golden titanium frameless ones, and they cost me a pretty penny. So yeah, I needed it though, because my old glasses, they snapped off on the handle, and then the lenses were scratched, and they were basically being held together by like medical tape and like paper. So yeah, I decided to get myself some new ones. Okay, well I hope you guys enjoyed the whole babbling and rambling that I did, and yeah. Things are going good for me. When I was down in Vancouver, like, Mr. Parker was just amazing. He even like signed my book. You know, the guy that wrote this book, Piano Pedagogy, Practical Approach, he signed it for me. I don't know if you can see that, but he did. He wrote a couple things to me, and that is really nice what he said. So, he's awesome. He's really nice. Very good guy. I like him. Okay, well, that's enough for me. So, please sign up on my forums and post away. Okay, well, I'll talk to you guys later. See you later.